Welcome back to Ford Field in Detroit. Dan Potter and Jeff Griffith on the DCI News Network. A little post-show wrap-up as we just watched the 2019 Drum Corps International Tour Premiere. Holy crap, Jeff. That was an amazing premiere.
So good. I mean, top to bottom. I mean, you expect it with a premiere, a big event, to see great performances, but really, I mean, I was here last year, and I feel like each of these corps is in some way a step forward from where they were last year at this event.
For those who've been around this activity for decades, like the old man here, it's amazing that corps come out with such a full product right at the start of the season, and that's a recent thing. That's in the last 10 years. You know, when I marched, it was not unusual to take the field with about two-thirds of your show done and just that was it. You know, that's what you got. But the audiences now get a full production, everything thought out. Obviously, these shows are going to be built upon as the season goes along.
Of course, yeah.
But they were pretty fully thought out today. Especially, man, I thought Bluecoats show, our winner tonight, was a really fully produced show.
It really was. There's so much going on, as there always is, especially the last few years with their shows. But I mean, the color, the visual effects, the music was beautiful. I mean, I feel like you can't do Beatles wrong, but they did it so right.
Tell you what, let's work our way backward through the
good
night.
Idea.
Phantom Regiment was on the field first. They finished sixth this evening, a 63.25. Thoughts on Phantom Regiment show?
Phantom Regiment, I mean, I got to hear some sneak previews of it before tonight, and I've loved the repertoire they put out. I mean, 30 Seconds to Mars, Two Steps from Hell, some really exciting music, and really, really, really good job.
Yeah.
I mean, classic Phantom, but also not classic Phantom, you know? Like, it had tenets of Phantom Regiment, like, you know, storytelling and emotion, but new in 2019.
Yeah, and some bloodshed, too, which Phantom's getting pretty good at.
Which, again, classic Phantom.
Coming in fifth tonight, Blue Stars, 65.45. Call of the Wild, the Jack London story. Now, I don't know exactly where the avalanche in this show is supposed to happen.
Right.
Is that on the big prop that we saw here on side 2?
So. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch much of that one. I was busy with some other things. But from what I saw, again, I mean, I mentioned this on our pre-show, but last year their horn line stunned me. They came out just fantastic. Again, same story. Really impressive. From top to bottom in that core. Really cool visual look. Again, kind of like last year, really specific to the show, not specific at all to Blue Stars, if you will.
Right.
But really cool.
Yeah, very much so. Whoever thought we'd see dog sleds on a football field, right?
And flannels.
Fourth place, the Cadets. Tonight, a 67.10, 67.1 for the Cadets. In fourth, we did have a finish tonight that was in performance order as it turned out. The Cadets, a different look for the Cadets. Not just, I mean, obviously the uniforms are different from last year, but this. I stood next to Scott Litzenberg, their corps director, and he said, this is not last year's Cadets, and it certainly wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed a handful of parts of their show. The ballad really struck me.
Yeah. Bridge
Over Troubled Water. They did it in such a very beautiful way, but in a unique way that fit the show. It was very, I don't know how to describe it, but it really just fit what they were doing, and it wasn't necessarily straight Bridge Over Troubled Water.
As this season goes on, it'll be interesting to see how those bridges evolve. I know there's decoration that needs to be added still to those bridges. Those are such massive props, and the way that they manipulate them. And, in fact, at one point, one of those bridge spans was swinging around on the field, and there's just a different kind of visual moment that happens there because of the size of that prop and it's swinging around all at the same time. Prop manipulation is a whole other aspect of the visual programs that's really growing. We saw it with Santa Clara last year with those nesting stages that they had. And this year it seems like the corps are all looking for different directions to go in with big props that can be manipulated in sync with each other or to make some other visual statement.
Yeah, and a great example of that would be our third place corps, Boston Crusaders, 70.05, Goliath. So many fun pieces of music. I mean, My Shot from Hamilton, you know, Fanfare for Rocky, Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and they bring back Rocky again in the closer.
Yeah.
First of all, I knew leading into the season they were playing the Rocky music and they were playing Hamilton. I did not realize they'd be in the same movement.
Right.
Blended, weaving in and out of each other.
Who
so
thought
cool.
those two pieces of music would go together so
Boston
well?
Crusaders, and they did it exactly right.
Coming in third, 70.08 70.05 for Crusaders. And by the way, Boston Crusaders winning visual tonight and color guard as well.
And color guard's a caption they took first in last year overall. So
Yes,
coming out hot again in a caption that's been strong for them really for the last 3 years.
Very strong. Carolina Crown was second tonight, 70.90. Crown taking brass and music, and their horn line just crystal clear tonight.
Yeah.
I can't believe they do not sound like it's opening night.
Oh, my goodness, not at all. It sounds like late July. And that was the case last year. It seems that that's the case every year with this corps. Really some cool moments in this show. Some really ethereal moments. Some really it's hard to pin down this show because like we've said before, it's really intellectual. It's really heady.
Yeah.
But some of the moments there, brass moments just playing rhythmically intense passages and so clean, so crisp, such a good sound.
Gino Cipriani's, Crown, Matt Harloff.
Right,
sound.
yes.
Right, sorry. Bluecoats, our winner tonight, 71.15. Bluecoats taking GE and percussion, and we have some guests from the Bluecoats who are going to join us. Let's bring Peyton in here and give her the headset, and then everybody else can kind of stand behind her. Peyton, is this going to fit over your 1960s hairdo?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Very good.
There we go.
Congratulations, guys, on a first
so
win of the season. How did it feel on the podium, Peyton?
Incredible. It felt so good. Like we've been waiting for this moment for so long to finally just go out there and do it for people.
Sure.
And you could just feel the energy buzzing. It was awesome.
I talked to Dean Westman about, why you guys keep your show concept a secret for so long. And I said, Dean, is it because, we'll talk about it and you'll get more publicity? And he said no. And his explanation was amazing. His explanation was, folks, the longer we wait to reveal our show, the more creative we can be. He didn't want to, your design staff doesn't want to paint themselves in a box before, you guys take the field. And I take it you share that philosophy.
Yeah, especially this year with the whole repertoire choices and concept that we have, it was really important to us to kind of develop the show in our own bubble so that we had a lot of freedom from expectations of the crowd and the DCI community, so we could really just explore before
Was it really
we
hard to keep the secret, though?
Oh my gosh, yes. It was so hard. You had no idea how much I wanted to tell my friends about it because it's so cool.
I had a few days warning too, and I had to bite my tongue several times. So how do you expect this show to develop as the season goes on?
Well, you never really know with our designers. It could go a lot of different ways, but we've still got a lot to do, and I think we can really dive into what kind of characters we're going after as well, and just what the show really means. Not only
who do you see yourself as? Obviously the conductor and the drum major, but what character in this drama are you?
That's a really good question. We've talked a lot about the different personalities of the four Beatles. That there was kind of you guys want to help me out? I don't know if I remember them all.
John Paul,
Ringo, George.
This is the heart, soul, mind, and body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that, and I think after I considered it, I feel like I'm kind of the mind personality, and I think that applies to not only my job on the podium, but just how I interact with other members.
So you're the McCartney of the Bluecoats.
Yeah, I guess I would say.
Because I think what Dean said was Paul McCartney was the mind, John Lennon the heart.
Yeah.
The soul is George Harrison, and Ringo is holding it all together as the flesh and blood and bones.
Yeah.
So it's going to be wonderful to watch you guys develop this show over the next 2 months. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on a first win.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
The Bluecoats, our winners tonight, 71.15. I'll take those from you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And again, Bluecoats taking both general effect and percussion. So we're going to wrap things up from here. We've got more events happening this weekend that you can watch on Flow Marching, right?
Yeah, we've got DCI West in Stanford, California. We mentioned this earlier. Always a great event because, this is really the first chance here in Detroit to see, your Bluecoats, your Carolina Crowns, your Eastern Midwestern Corps, and then you get out west and you get the taste of the Vanguards, the Blue Devils. What are Mandarins going to be this year after, jumping into the top 10 last season?
And throw in Cavaliers, who are touring California to start the season.
Yeah, the Cavaliers are headed out there, so they're joining kind of that West Coast contingent. I've gotten to go out for a couple West Coast shows before. It's really a different type of
If you
the
ever
DCI Tour.
get a chance to go to that show at Stanford, you'll be amazed at that stadium. It's one of the best stadiums in the country for seeing a drum corps show at, in my opinion, because the audience is right on top of the field. It feels like everybody's got great sight lines straight down to the field. So Stanford, a great stadium for drum corps. That's tomorrow night.
That is Saturday night.
Saturday night. I keep thinking it's Friday.
Yeah.
It's Thursday. Saturday night. We also have DCI Crossroads from Zionsville coming up on Sunday as well, and that'll be on Flow Marching too, right?
Yeah, so that one will be cool. It's Sunday. It's at Zionsville, Indiana. It's 6 corps. So we've got 3 of the ones we saw tonight, Boston Crusaders, Carolina Crown, and the Cadets. And then it'll be Madison Scouts, Colts, and the Crossmen. So an interesting contingent of corps that kind of finished right around that finalist cutoff last year, joining 3 from tonight. So it'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see how they all fit together, competitively speaking. Get a first read on corps like Madison Scouts, Crossmen, and Colts that we didn't see tonight. So again, worth watching. If you got that Flow Marching subscription, I'd suggest checking out both shows.
It's a good time to subscribe to Flow Marching right now, so you can catch the whole season. But we got Flow Marching's coverage, and of course we have the DCI News Network coverage, and we have several shows that we're going to be at this summer as well, giving you a look behind the scenes, doing these little extra pre-show and post-show products that we're offering tonight. And of course, you can catch up anytime at DCI.org. Jeff, it's been a great first endeavor, I think.
It has. I'm so ready for this season.
Drum Corps fans, 2019 is shaping up to be one of the best ever. Get your tickets. For Jeff Griffith, I'm Dan Potter. I'll see you at the stadium.